Today I'm talking about a game called Battle Glide. I'd never heard of it before, and I have spent the last little bit playing it, and I got things to say. I don't even know how to explain it precisely what this game is, except to say that it's a sandbox kind of open world ragdoll game where you begin in a bedroom with the skyline outside, and by opening your window, that kind of begins the level, and you're free to maneuver throughout the limited city that they've built. More about that in a bit. But once you're there, it's just a sandbox. You can pick what your priorities are. Are you going to be a good guy or are you going to be a bad guy? And out there in the city, you have cables that you can kind of Spider-Man-ish fire at cars, people, buildings. And then with that, depending on what it is you've struck, you can either pull it towards you or use it to kind of fling yourself from building to building. And as you're doing it, you're going to hear sirens, and there's going to be cops chasing a couple dudes in a van, and there's gunfire. And can you stop the van? Can you help the cops? And what are you going to do with those bad guys once you get your hands on them? It's a moral dilemma. It's a quandary. And I'll tell you the truth. I tried. I tried to be a good guy. I tried to help the cops. But in the end, they just didn't like me. No matter what I did, they always kind of looked at me the wrong way.
May I have a little kiss before you go?
Everyone looks at me the wrong way in this game. Look at these people. I didn't punch him in the face. I just walked up to him. This is the look on his face. And of course, now I gotta punch him in the head. What else can I do? The guy behind him, and fine, as long as I'm doing that, then let's wreak some havoc. I'm gonna pick up this car and I'm gonna throw it. I can pick up anything. You can use your hands and kind of scale any building, and you can slow down time so that really any time that you want, you can slow down time. But it's especially cool firing at a couple guys and then using that cable to grapple them and kind of yank them towards you. And as they're flying through the air, coming closer and closer, time will stop for a second. It'll slow down. And with that, you can do an uppercut, and they begin to fly, and you come down and hit him again from the top. And you can do a lot with that. I can pick up a guy and throw him like 300 feet into the air. I picked up this poor lady and kind of scaled a building to see how high I could get. And then because I'm a bad guy now, I just hurled her off a building, and she fell and she fell. And then at the end, she just stands up and she's fine and walks away. She's got a story to tell. No one's going to believe her. And so the game it's cool. You can really do anything you want. But going back to the cityscape, it's not Manhattan, but it's kind of a rough approximation of Manhattan. It's like a peninsula. It's an island. And then within that area, you can go wherever you want, as long as you don't try crossing a bridge. There are two bridges that kind of splinter off and connect to a neighboring peninsula. And if you try to cross those bridges, if you try to cross the river, then the screen kind of fades to white and it puts you back on top of your building. Which is a bummer, because you can see traffic going across the bridge. You can get down on the ground and you can just walk it, but it doesn't want you to, and it tells you by just kind of resetting things. And while it starts in the city, it seems like the further you progress, the more it opens up, the more abilities are given to you, new scenarios and legions of bad guys to kick around. The game looks good. It's kind of GTA. You can't get in the vehicles. You can't ride a motorcycle. You can't, fly a plane. You can punch people in the face. You can throw them into the air. Move any car you want. I can pick up a car and I can slam it into another vehicle. I can take people for rides, whip through the city like Spider-Man, scale walls and fight people. I can take their guns and then, depending on the mood, either wreak havoc or do some good. But compared to GTA, it's not as polished. It's MetaQuest 3. Wish you could get into vehicles. That would be pretty sweet. But as it stands now, just something about just the cables, they're done very well. Climbing isn't too janky. Just the look on these faces. I don't know why. I don't know what I look like in this game, but it must be terrifying because everyone I come across has this. It's endless. And so that brings with it a little bit of jank, but you know, they look good otherwise. The people look all right. The city looks okay. You could pick the weather. I picked rain in this scenario, and is it photorealistic? No, it's not. But those are real raindrops. I mean, it's not like some post-effect thing. Like, it looks like it's actually falling in my cone of being. And if you run, then you can see a kind of slant to the raindrops. But it seems like this game is more about, are you gonna throw 50 people into the water, smash a cop car with a van that you picked up with your left hand? Or are you going to be a good guy? And are you gonna just like listen for sirens from a rooftop and stop the vehicle, maybe shoot the bad guys, and then like flee before the cops decide that maybe you're a bad guy too? Because then that happens, and next thing you know, you're breaking their necks, and it's a whole thing. But I like this game. And if you want to try it, you'll find a link down below where you can save 10% off. Sometimes it's 20%. That depends on the time of the year. And you can find it by going to my website down below where I've cataloged every game in that list has a discount. You'll also find headsets and accessories that I've used that I like discounted this much, and I hope you find it useful. Visit that website. You'd be supporting my channel and saving some money. Please subscribe, like this video, does my channel a world of good. I'm going to be at CES tomorrow from the 7th and 8th. If you see me there, say hi and Godspeed.